office / early childhood center, and usually we're on the road with the superintendent, but I guess we're on the carpet with the superintendent. No one wants to be on the carpet, but that's how we have to walk there. We're walking today, and we have somebody here in her blue walker. Good morning. How are you?
Just not yellow walker, just blue one.
Not a yellow one, but a blue one. Yeah.
Maddie.
This one's Patty.
I'm Patty.
Maddie and Patty, hi. Are you going for a walk?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Where are we walking to?
Oh, do you want to see my friends? I go outside, go.
Are you going to go outside?
No, get out and go play.
Yeah, I love that. That's nice.
And then no blue walker.
Yes. It's all nice and shiny.
Is this your new shiny blue walker?
That's a new one.
Is it new?
Yeah.
It's nice. Well, we're going to go down and see the kids in class, so have fun outside.
Can you say see you later?
See you later.
Thank you.
We're going to go back to the orange room now. You're visiting with your new friends. Usually you're shy.
Well, we're in the board administration center, but it's an interesting use of former Elyria West High School. This wing is preschool, and over behind the cameraman here, as I'm facing this way, is Board of Education. Different offices for special needs students, the treasurer, HRs in this wing, and so on down that way. As we turn around and we look back towards the north in the building, we have the early childhood portion extended. So we're in the preschool at this point here, and then as we come to this intersection, it's kindergarten and preschool blended with special needs and typically developing students. So it's quite an eclectic group here. I can hear some kids singing in the background, which is really nice when you come to work and you can see them. At the end of this hallway, we'll see Mrs. Fisher, who's the principal of this, I'll call it building, even though it's split. And her responsibilities include the kindergarten program for Oakwood. Oakwood is our only school that doesn't have kindergarten located inside of it. It's just not large enough to accommodate its kindergarten in terms of all of its classes. We might find a room or two where they could fit, but when there's 4 classes, we don't want to split them. So we bus them here to this building. So Oakwood's kindergarten is here. After they have a year here, then they go to Oakwood for grade 1. The other schools all have their own kindergarten inside of that. Once upon a time, this was called the Kindergarten Village. And as we approach this wall, this was its first year, 1998-99 school year. And these are all the kids that were here that year. And they've graduated from high school already. And that was really a very touching graduation because many of the kindergarten teachers from the village came to that graduation that evening. And they were able to give some hugs, and I saw a lot of tears by that group. The kids too, by the way, seeing their kindergarten teachers from all those years. Why is this important? The Kindergarten Village was an experiment in all-day, full-day kindergarten at no expense to the parents. We were in the forefront of all-day K. And with our emphasis on early childhood education, anywhere, but particularly in urban school districts, preschool is very important, and all-day K is very important because many of the skills for many of us who went through half-day kindergartens when we were children, the curriculum that we learned in the first grade, even into the second grade, is being taught now in kindergarten. So a full day of kindergarten is not only necessary, but I think welcomed by the kids. When we first went to this concept, it was interesting. We had many, many parents who said their children wouldn't last all day. They had to have a nap in the middle of the day. And I admit, I used to go a half a day, and I think I had a nap time in kindergarten way back in the day. But naps are out. We don't nap anymore in school. And we go all day, and it's a full day. And very academic and very social, very important. And we're very proud that we led the way in full day kindergarten. Well, we're right around the corner And I hope Mrs. Fisher is expecting us, or we're going to catch her by surprise. Well, there she is. I guess she is expecting us. Good morning,
Hi,
Mrs.
good
Fisher.
morning.
How are you?
Nice to see you
I'm good.
again.
Nice to see you. I was just giving a little history over the building, when we started, why we started, how important early childhood is,
Okay.
and how many different kinds of responsibilities you have here. We've got preschool, we've got Head Start here, we've got our own Elyria program, we've got kindergarten for Oakwood, and I won't say too much about that. I'll let you point that out
Okay,
as
as we
we
go
walk
along.
around.
All right, good.
So, and I see you have more pictures here.
Every year.
We were looking at the hands out on the
Oh,
wall of that
yes.
first group.
Yes.
And that was very
they
nice.
do a panoramic view from the top of the building.
Mm-hmm.
The photographer actually gets on the top and looks down. So from the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
this was the first class,
Oh, there they are.
all the way till this last year.
Cool.
And then we do it in like May.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have this year's 14-15 in May.
Very nice.
But this is every
This
single
must have been the 10th year, huh?
This was the 10th year, 10 years of knowing and growing.
Very
And
nice.
then
Very nice.
this year up here was the first year that we added preschool
Mm-hmm.
to kindergarten. So, and we changed the name to Elyria Early Childhood
Because we
Village.
brought all of these other programs here,
We
so it
brought
was no
everything together.
longer just
It
kindergarten.
was, you're right. Now it's for kindergarten from Oakwood.
Right.
And then the preschool is all over the city of Elyria.
Yeah, that's amazing how Oakwood has maintained 4 kindergarten classes over the years. We saw that as a part of the town that might have been diminishing in population, but they haven't been.
No.
We don't have room at Oakwood School to put 4 kindergarten classes there. I think we might have from time to time a room or two, but we don't like to split them.
Right.
That's
And
what I
there-
was saying.
And there are approximately 85 kindergartners here. Last year, there were about 95. So that's way too many to put over there.
Yeah.
And like you said, you don't want to split them.
We don't want to split
Yeah,
them up.
Yeah.
Well, we're all yours, so
Okay.
where are we going?
You want to come this way?
I do.
We're here to hear your Pickle Pal song. Can you sing it to Mr. Rigda for us? I want him to hear it specially.
Oh,
All
cool.
right. Are you ready, boys and girls? Put your eagle eyes up here, and we're going to get started. Remember to use your number 2 voice, not a real loud, shouty voice, okay? Are you ready, Savion? I need your eyes up here, and I want you to sing it with me. Ready, King? Take me out to the village. Take me out with my friends. I'll follow the rules to be safe and kind, respectful, responsible, ready to learn, 'cause it's learning time at the village. We share, listen, and love. Let me hear you. For it's 1, 2, 3, stretch her out of the pickle pal. Play school. All right, nice
Very
job.
good.
Now we do have one other song that we usually follow up with. If you'd like to hear it, it's real quick.
you know I do,
Because it's something
yeah.
that we kind of just do each day, and it's
Great.
called I Love to Learn. Because what are we here to do? We're here to learn, and we have to be safe, we have to be responsible, and we have to be respectful to be ready to learn. All right, let's try that. Now this one we sing a cappella, so bear with us on this one. Are you ready? I love to learn, I'm here to learn, to be safe, kind, and responsible. Oh, how I love to be with my friends now, when we're safe, kind, and responsible. Everyone, let me hear you. I love to learn. I'm here to learn, to be safe, kind, and responsible. Oh, how I love to be with my friends now, when we're safe, kind, and responsible. Good job.
Nice
Good
job,
job.
friends. And how
That's
many of you
nice.
are going to try to be in that Pickle Pal Club today?
All of us.
All of us.
Oh,
good
good.
deal. That's what I want to see.
My chart is empty, and they know. Is Mrs. Porter a happy camper when my chart is empty? Yes, I am. I haven't had to give any strikes yet today, so we are starting off our week the right way.
Could
Good
I ask a
resources.
couple questions?
Sure can.
Like it says, it's a really nice things to be safe and kind and responsible. Can somebody help me understand what safe means? What does it mean to be safe?
Do you want me to call, or would you like
Yes,
to call?
you would know better.
Hayden, go ahead.
It's being,
Can you look at
You have to say it nice and loud.
so he can hear you.
it's being kind.
Yeah, what does that mean? How are you kind?
people's feet.
Oh, that would be
an
very
example.
kind. That's nice.
Right. That's why we keep our
Good.
hands and feet to ourselves, right? So that doesn't happen. Anybody else have an idea? What do you think, Xavion?
We gotta learn letters and stuff.
Right, and so if we're being safe and kind and responsible and respectful, then we'll be ready to learn, won't we? Yeah, if we do those things, then we won't have to stop to talk to friends and to remind them the right thing to do, right? Okay,
Right.
anybody else have something they want to share about what that means to be safe, kind, and responsible? What does that mean? King.
To be safe.
Well, what does it mean to be safe? To do what?
Be nice.
Well, you have to be kind to others. You have to be nice. What do we have to follow to be safe?
Listen to Lord.
You have to listen. Ben?
Listen to what the teacher says.
Listening to what the teacher says, that's
Right.
important because it's my job to keep you safe, isn't it? That's my number one job. I've got to keep you safe. So if you're listening to what Mrs. Porter says, you're going to be doing the right thing. All right?
Great. That's just great. Are bullies kind?
No.
Are any of you bullies? Raise your hand if you're a bully. Oh, good.
We don't have any bullies.
Very good. No
We have
bullies
kind
in
friends
here.
in this room.
Very
Yes,
good.
a very nice group of friends who know how to be respectful and
Very
responsible
respectful and kind.
Yes.
Now
I'm happy to say.
Now I taught my brother how to be safe and kind.
Right, and that's the idea, to
Nice.
go home and teach your family the same things that we're doing here to
And
do
I
at
showed
home.
him how to do some cartwheels too.
Yep.
There you
You're
go.
a good big
You throw in a
brother.
cartwheel now.
That's a
That's
good
the
big
brother.
That is a good big
My
brother.
brother fixed
Okay.
That's wonderful.
Is there anything else that we can
No,
do
thank
for
you.
you or
Thank you,
answer for
Mrs.
you?
Porter.
All
Very
right, well,
nice.
you're always
Thank you.
welcome to come in anytime.
Always good to see you.
All right. Well,
Thank
thanks
you,
for stopping
friends.
by.
Bye, friends.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
And say 2 thumbs up. We're going to stay on the green, right?
That's what
Two
I wanna
thumbs up.
hear.
Let's keep it on the green.
Let's keep it on the green.
Good job. All
Very
right, well,
good.
enjoy the rest of your visit.
Thank
you.
you, friends.
Okay, friends, we're going to go ahead to our color song, so I know you've been waiting to carry it.
I love this floor.
Isn't it?
Let's take a look at this.
It's
It
brand
really
new.
is.
Brand new.
Love it.
I love it. It's so fresh. It's clean. That old carpeting is just so hard to keep that clean, and so many allergies today.
I was literally duct taping it down. It was that bad.
Yeah,
So,
this looks beautiful.
Thank you. We're
Your
very,
room
very happy.
looks great.
They were able to replace 2, so
2 of them.
2 of them. This one and the blue room they were able to do.
That's the way we want to go.
Yeah.
It's actually
been
less
very
expensive
nice.
than carpet,
And last,
and way more easy to take care of, and lasts and lasts and lasts.
you know, it's actually more comfortable as you walk on it. You can feel it because it has a cushion
That
underneath
cushion's
it.
underneath
So
it.
you don't feel the cement floor like you do in the
Right,
rugs.
right.
And the rugs around here were in the 70s, so
Yes,
you're familiar
they
with that.
were
So
originals.
they were original. So we're slowly replacing them with that.
We've tried different things. There's tile over here, but we don't have a lot of luck with that, with the glues and the adhesives, and then you have to be careful when you take it up. This is the way we're going to go in the future.
And preschool loves to do sand and finger paint and all
Yes.
those messy things that preschoolers do to learn.
Yes.
So sand is really rough on tile, but we really work around it.
Yeah,
And so I like the
I think we've seen the
plank
last
flooring.
of the tile.
Oh, that's good.
I think tiles is pretty much done. It's just not a good product with all the new products. Oh, here's the other room.
This is the other room that has it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Good use of money. Very high quality. What a beautiful look. And so easy to clean.
These are the 2 rooms that were replaced.
Very
So
nice.
I'm going to take you to the orange room now.
Okay. Where are we going? Around the corner?
Yeah.
This door is where the walkers, car riders come in?
Yes.
This is, you have door for bus and a door
For car riders.
cars.
And what we found is ages 3 through 6 here that a lot of parents don't feel comfortable busing their children. So we have a lot of car riders that come. And we have a midday exit and entrance because our preschools are half day.
That's right.
So this is a revolving door here. So we have people coming in all the time. So to be safe, the first day of school, we looked at this and said, wow, tons of car riders this year. We need to change our plan. So actually, everybody comes through the back door here if they're a car rider now, whether
Okay.
they're a preschooler or a kindergartner.
Okay.
And they're dismissed here. Everybody except for the 4 o'clock group. There's nobody else in the building, so they can go out the front. But
Okay.
that's why we did that, just to make them safe, because again, it wasn't
How is
safe.
security managed? Somebody stays at the door when they're coming in?
Yes, I have someone
So if they're
assigned in the
late, they'll
morning.
have to come to the other door and buzz in?
Yes.
But that's after the traffic clears?
We have 3 different groups that come, so we start actually at 8:15 9:15 with the first group. And they come in this way, and the teachers in that classroom do that. And then there's an 8:45 group, and we have some aides that are here that bring them down. And then there's a 9:15 group, and that's the kindergartners, and they come in this way.
Okay.
So when the time is finished and they're late, like for kindergartners, it's 9:35. I shut down this, and then they go in the front door.
Okay, so
that's how
everything's-
that works.
everything's
It's
very
always
secure.
manned by an adult.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. I know our public is wanting to know about security. We're very, very high on security. Well, I see some people can't reach the drinking fountain.
Yes.
So we improvise.
This was a high school, of course,
Yes.
at one point in time. So when you're talking about 3-year-olds, you can see how small we are.
Right.
And so we have to make accommodations. We've also had to make accommodations in the bathrooms with toilets being lowered, the handles on the sinks being the handle part, not
Oh,
the
that's
push
right.
kind,
You're
because
right,
the
right.
push kind they can't
It's
do
too
because they don't
hard.
have the strength.
Right, right.
So all of those kinds of things were actually done for kindergarten before the preschool got here.
Okay.
And then we've continued to accommodate.
Nice retrofit.
We're going to look at the Orange Room, and one of the unique things about this building itself is that preschool services the whole entire district. And we have some special ed preschool units, we have some regular ed preschool units, and we have a whole entire group of related service people that are housed here to service our children.
Okay.
So when you walk in, you're actually going to see a motor group that is occurring with the adaptive PE specialist, the PT, and the classroom itself that are
Okay.
working on motor activities. So
Okay, good.
let's go in.
Very good. Push, good job, Sebastian.
Push, push. Push, push. Push.
Now these are preschoolers.
These are preschoolers, ages 3 through 5. And Mr. Gregg is the adaptive PE teacher. And then the gal in the aqua is the PT.
Okay.
And then we have 2 personal aides in here. And we also have a nurse that comes in for one of our students that has high nursing needs.
Oh, okay.
So, and then of course the teacher in the room.
Okay. We
So,
just saw this young lady when we came down, so she's
Yes.
already been on camera in her new blue scooter.
and you know, this is one of the things that's so unique about this building, is she spends time in here and then she goes to a least restrictive classroom with all
okay, good.
typical
Good.
peers to do some more learning because we're getting her ready for kindergarten. So what we
great.
want to do is we start her off in a small group and then have her do her academics in a bigger group. So because everybody is here and we have all 3 programs, we can do that.
So the
with
whole
ease.
idea of a center
Yes.
is very important.
Yes.
You wouldn't want this split around town.
And we like being fluid, being able to have the opportunity to go from one class to the other class depending on the child's needs.
Right.
So if they need a small classroom, we have a small classroom. But if they don't need a small classroom, we don't have that. We don't need that. So, but our friend that you saw earlier, she has motoric needs, so
Yes.
that's why she is in this room with Mr. Gregg right now, getting
Okay.
those things met.
This is like spirit.
Now, you called him an adaptive phys ed teacher.
Teacher, right.
So maybe for the people watching, I'll pretend like so what is an adaptive phys ed teacher?
Okay, an adaptive phys ed teacher has extra credentialing in working with handicapped children.
Right.
So they have their regular PE certificate, but then they also have specialized instruction and coursework in the phys ed.
Right. So they a little therapist like with the phys ed.
Right, they're
like we
considered-
saw here, the rolling the ball is for motor control, for fine or gross motor, and,
Right.
and he has additional training above and beyond our normal phys ed training
And he's
for
cons-
typically developing kids.
Right, he's
He could
considered
also
a teacher.
teach,
Yes, he's
phys
considered
ed,
a teacher.
typical developing, but he
Yes.
has the credentials to take him a step higher.
That's right. That's right. And he actually travels around the whole district. So he is not only here, but he's in every building that has children with motor needs. And he tends to work with groups
Yeah.
because of being a PE teacher. He
Right,
works as
he's
group.
used to that, yeah.
And then what we find sometimes is that the physical therapist works directly with him on some of the more involved motor need kids, so she can be working with that at the same time.
I see.
And adaptive PE tends to be a group, whereas some of the other related services, they either come in or they go one-on-one. They can do both, but that's why we have them all here. It gives us that flexibility again to do that.
Okay. For some of our students, and I'm sure our parents don't know this, we also provide therapy in a clinical sense, and there are billable hours that we can do for Medicaid students. And that's another supplement to our revenue stream. Rather than a child leave school and go to a clinic and receive therapy, they're a Medicaid recipient, they can get their clinical services here, and then we act almost as a provider, billing an insurance company.
That's correct.
So schools have changed a lot
That's correct.
over the years, but this is how we stay solvent.
Yes, that's correct.
And it's so very important for the child, they don't have to leave.
Right.
You don't have to go out to the parking lot. And that's not bad on a day like today where it's 65, 70 degrees outside. But on a wintry, blustery day,
Try one of those snow
they
days in
stay
February.
right here
Yes.
and get their therapies here.
The difference between the therapies outside and the therapies here, though, is that it all has to be educationally based. So we all talk about how we can get a child to access the environment.
Right.
So that's the twist that these therapists have when they're in a school system versus when they're out in a hospital or a private setting.
Say recovering from surgery kind of thing.
Right. And we work very closely with those therapists out there. There are a lot of children that get extra therapies outside, speech especially, but also occupational therapy. So we coordinate with them. We sign releases so that we can work together, because the whole point is to do what's best for the child. And the more people that are involved and are on the same page of the playbook, the better chances we have for the child to do better in the activities. So
Very interesting. Very good. We'll
Just
come
see
down
enough?
here around the corner.
yeah.
For those people viewing that probably wonder, how does an administration center and a school deal with this? We pretty much have the schools divided in half.
Yep.
Off to our left here was a computer training room,
Right.
but you have very little in this wing that has anything to do with the board office functions.
That's correct.
We're at a point now, we're kind of on the dividing line. This way, for the most part, is board office, except for this one room right here, which is a media center.
Right.
Our old media center when we were open as a high school. And I have seen some storytelling going on in here.
Sure.
And they've tried to keep this open for that kind of activity. I'm not sure who's telling the stories these days. When I see these folks, I see new people, new faces. How is that working?
We have the public library that comes in and
Okay.
reads stories to the children.
So that's who they are.
Yes,
Okay.
it's
I've seen
the public
the
library.
truck outside,
Yes.
the big
We used to have the
van.
bookmobile.
Yes.
And they come in twice a month and read stories to the kids. We also have some parents of some staff here that was a librarian at one point in time in our
okay.
school system that
Okay.
volunteers to read to the kids every week. And she'll pick a classroom and read to them.
Okay.
So we've done those kinds of things as well.
I have to tell you, I go to lunch here, I mentioned that earlier, and I go down that hallway, and it's not comfortable for a superintendent to think, now, who is that? They have a badge on, why don't I know that person? And I had a feeling volunteers, maybe the library, and was wondering who was telling the stories.
It's
Kids
all those.
all entranced in the story, doing an excellent job of telling stories. So I thought they must have some sort of background in this. And I thought when we visited you today, I'd find out exactly where those folks are coming
Sure.
from, who's looking after them, and who recruited them, and just to say they're doing a nice job.
Yes, we've been able to work with the Academic Services Department, and they've supplied us with they've connected with the public library.
The library
and
system.
they're the ones that kind of have set up the
That's
schedule
nice,
for
and
us,
that's how it
so
should
we've been
be.
able to do
Tax
that.
dollars again at work,
Sure.
cross training here. So
And then they've-
partnering with another entity,
Another
that,
entity.
in the community.
And then they've worked with us on how you check out books and how you put them back and all kinds of things like that. So they've kind of, the Academic Services Department has worked with us on
I'm
that.
glad we worked that in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we have like speech therapists that are housed in this library, and the psychologists that work with a preschool here.
Okay.
We use this as really a multi-center kind of
Okay.
place. We have things called language groups and prep school groups that we use to service children as well as classrooms.
Okay.
So kids may come in for an hour and a half specifically for speech or for
Okay.
learning to do school because they're not ready to do it 4 days a week.
Okay.
And we tend to use this this
Okay.
facility right in here
Sort of
to
a
do that.
staging facility
It's
for
a
them.
staging facility for them. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
To
So
get them into
complicated.
school. Well, it
It's
is.
supposed to be easy. They're only 3, 4, 5-year-olds. How hard could that be?
Well,
Sounds like a challenge.
well, what we do is we make sure that we meet the kids' needs.
Yes.
So whatever the kids' needs drives whatever we do. So it might look complicated, but it actually is a pretty well-oiled machine, and it
And
runs
it's
pretty
such
smoothly.
a critical time. I can't
Yes.
say that enough, that early childhood intervention, like what you're doing here with all of these folks, is so critically important to later on in school. We know that if they get this right, they'll get it right all along the way.
And in this building right now, we service about 220 preschool, about 300, 310 total kids.
Isn't that something?
But we're able to service 220 preschool kids across the district in Elyria and make a difference before they come to kindergarten.
That's really
so
nice.
we're really proud of that.
Well,
So.
we're proud of you. Thank you so much for
thank
the work
you.
you're doing.
It's
Before
nice
we
to have
sign
you
off,
here.
that award that you won, let's say
Oh,
one
yes.
thing about that. Let's not leave that out.
Oh, okay.
5-star, and then we're going to sign off.
Okay.
How did you get a 5-star award, and what does that mean? And how many others got that in Northern Ohio?
Okay, nobody in
Oh, no
Lorraine
one
County.
else,
no.
just you. Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Funny, I should bring that up. So, an award-winning program on top of it.
Yes.
And what is the star thing?
5 stars. You are evaluated according to your procedures and policies, and it's a state evaluation system. It used to be just private preschools, and now this last year it's gone into the public school sector.
Okay.
So you turn in all of your paperwork, and they look at your lesson plans, and they look at how you communicate with parents. They look at what kind of PD you do with teachers, if you have a high quality of PD. And so we ranked into the 5-star rating because we did all of those things well. And we're very proud of that because it is the only one in Lorraine County. So,
is nice.
And our teachers and staff have worked really hard. So
Wow.
we'll continue to maintain that, and keep it up there. But that's a good thing. And
We're
then
proud of you.
parents can look at and say, wow, this is a 5-star. Maybe I
Doesn't-
want my child to attend here.
There's no
So-
6-star, right?
Yeah, there's
It's
no
as high
6.
as you
This
can
is
go.
as high as you can go. So
Congratulations.
Thank you very
Thank you for
much.
everything today.
Nice to have you
Nice
here.
to be here. Thank you. Bye-bye. Mrs. Lango.
Hello, Mr. Rigda.
Hi, good afternoon.
Afternoon, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, welcome to Westwood.
Glad to be here. Thank you. Looks
Great.
great in here.
Thank you.
Well, who are all those people?
Those are our staff. That was what we did the beginning of the year. It was kind of get to know the staff here at Westwood. We had it out in the showcase earlier. Basically, it's all about the teachers. They listed all the different kind of stuff that's up there. And then we took it from the showcase here, and so when visitors come in and parents come in, they are able to see the staff
That's nice.
here at Westwood.
That's nice. Everybody's
yes.
got a big smile.
Oh, yes.
A happy staff.
Absolutely.
Happy staff is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Well, we're at Westwood Middle and over, of course, on the west side.
Yes.
Sometimes we're in a car and we talk about the school before we get here, but since we came separately for our viewers, believe it or not, they ask us, where are these schools sometimes? Elyria is really spread out. They may live on the east side, never get over to the west side, or they live over by the college and never get south. So we try to tell them where we are, and we tell them about what you're about, rather. We're 6, 7, and 8. Our middle schools became middle schools. I've lost track.
It's probably about 5 years ago.
5 years
ago. Yes.
Because we were 7th and 8th for the longest time. A lot of people don't know that our junior high school used to be 7, 8, 9. And the high school was 10, 11, and 12, and I think that was because so many kids went to Elyria High at the time. And then when Elyria West opened, over on the west side, somewhere in there they went to just 7 and 8, and it was, like you said, about 5 years ago, we thought we should add the 6th grade to the 7 and 8. We'd like to keep 3 middle schools in Elyria if we can, because there's a river that runs through town. Was that a movie, The River Runs Through It?
The River Runs Through It.
I think that was a movie once, wasn't it? Yes. And then we've got a highway or two that kind of runs through it. So it's not easy to get around. So where our middle schools are strategically placed really works well for us because there's one right near the 113-57 bypass. We've got an east side and a west side. And today we're on the west side.
Westwood,
We're
yep.
in the township,
Yes.
which supplies a lot of kids to us. We have Crestwood out here and Westwood, and they've been here since the 70s, I believe. So
Okay.
early 70s, late 60s. So here we are. Mrs. Langle's been here for about 10 years. Oh, actually, it's the second year.
This is my third year here.
Third year.
My third year
Is it
here at
your
West.
third
Yes,
year already?
it is. Yep, time
Oh
flies.
my, time
Yes.
is flying.
Yes, it is.
Oh my. Well then,
Yep.
we don't cut you any slack anymore.
No,
This is-
I guess not.
You can't use that anymore.
Can't use the
Wonderful.
newbie. I
You
can't use the newbie on the
Okay.
block. No.
Well, good. Good.
No.
So what do you have in store for us?
Well, we're going to take a visit down to sixth grade math, which with Miss Schwartz. She is one of our sixth grade math teachers.
Okay.
We are an area of concern for us this year, an area of
Okay.
concentration for us to
Okay.
kind of bring up our students. Sixth grade math was something that we needed to concentrate on this year, so she's doing things a little different with grouping her kids and
Okay.
doing a cooperative grouping experience in her classroom.
Oh, great.
Great, and then
Let's
we'll
go.
head down to the rec room, so let's
Okay.
head down to Miss Schwartz's
Okay,
room.
sounds good.
This way.
This way?
Yes, we're going to go this way.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice
These are,
and
if you see these
clean.
hanging in our hallways, are be ready, be respectful, be responsible. You see them hanging.
I do.
That's part of our PBIS across the district. That's something those are the 3 R's. So we will,
We
it's
have
down
been
every
hearing
corridor.
a lot of that on
This way.
our tours of the schools. I see another sign here.
Those are how you act. We have them for the hallways, for the
Mm-hmm.
media center, for the cafeteria, for the
Okay.
locker rooms. Just expectations of how we expect our students to act in different areas of the building.
Okay. Now our viewers, if they've been staying with us, because I think we've been to about 8 or 9 places already, and this keeps coming up. So this is a big deal in Ohio, isn't it?
It is. It's huge.
This year.
It is something this year that we're implementing and that schools across the state are
Okay.
implementing. Basically, positive behavior intervention support for our students.
And that's PBIS, because we do
Yes.
like our alphabets.
Yes, we do. We like our acronyms.
Yes, we do like those. And this is a response somewhat to bullying.
So yes, it is.
It's not totally, but
Not totally,
it
but
helps
it
us
does-
get on a better page
Yes.
with kids' interactions with each other.
With each other, with adults, with staff members. It basically
Good.
tells the students what we expect from them and how to, treat others.
Great. Well, there's a lot of talk about how impersonal life is becoming, and isn't it interesting that we have to actually work on these things? But I think the more we get into the electronic devices, the Facebook, the texting, and so on, it's not that face-to-face contact. And I know that we probably act very differently when the person is right next to
Next to
us
us.
than we might if they were 5 miles away, and I might be
Correct.
carried away with what I'm
With
typing.
what you're typing.
So, and that has caused problems in the schools.
It has.
Because
It
that
has.
carries over, and then you have to deal with that, and that could potentially interfere with
That's
instruction.
correct.
So you attack it head on
Mm-hmm.
and say, look, guys, let's do some things this way,
Yep.
and be respectful and kind and
And
responsible.
they've really taken a hold of it and run with it.
Isn't
they're
that nice?
really great with it.
That's
and they,
great.
it was set from day one. The expectation was set from
Yeah.
day one with these kids. So it's
Well, one of the beauties of school is the social interaction, and the fact that you're teaching appropriate social interaction comes right into play.
and it is. That's something that we concentrate on. So back here, we're in the back corridor. Back here.
You know, I'd like to say one thing. This school was built in the late 60s, I think, early 70s, without looking at the cornerstone. And if you come over this way, it's a wide open concept in many areas that the school has done some retrofitting of walls. For example, those walls down there weren't always here, those wooden walls
wooden
that were
walls,
there.
yep. They're
And
not.
these partitions here have all been added because there was some train of thought, and I don't think any teachers thought this was a good idea, back in the 60s and early 70s, of wide open classrooms where integrated instruction took place so that everybody's instruction related to everyone else. The language arts was taught in the history, was taught in the science, and there was a mathematical relationship to it. That's good when we can do that, and anytime we can merge the core together. But we found that if you're showing a movie, the day was shot.
Oh, it
Everybody,
everyone heard you showing that movie.
everybody heard the movie. Everybody heard the speech. It just became so impractical. that we do pull together and we have open spaces to pull together, but then there is some benefit to having a quiet place
Yes.
with 25 people trying to attack one concept at a time.
And we do here, this is our 6th grade hallway here. We kind of have it sectioned up. This is our 6th grade, our 7th
Right.
grade is over there, but like our learning centers themselves, we try not to have, more than 2 classes going at one time in those learning centers, just so it's not overbearing and
Right.
loud for them. But
Right.
they adapt, they do well. Kids learn, the staff.
Well, and we are talking about 40 years ago. And instruction
Has changed.
so much. Not even in the last 40 years. I'd say 10,
Probably, I would
10,
say
12
10,
years.
yes.
We're teaching high school materials in middle school, in the elementary. We're teaching what might have been in middle school. And I know our kindergarten classes where we were earlier today, they're doing work that used to be in the 1st grade. So more and more focused concentration requiring some degree of smaller groups sometimes really come into
Absolutely.
play. But you guys have done a really nice job.
Thank
of
you,
how it
yes,
looks.
they did a great job. So we're gonna
So we're
head
going
back
in
here,
one
back
of
to the
these
left, yes.
areas here.
I'll stand over here.
Right? And
Okay.
again, you can
that
show
okay?
it with an example.
Oh.
And the last question. If you're given a ratio, how can you form a different ratio? So we want to see a strategy. If I give you the ratio 3:5, how are you going to show me a different ratio that means the same value? And again,
Okay.
show an example.
This is
Do an example
this is their
problem
grouping.
for that one.
They're set in cooperative groups. You can see on each table there is little signs that is part of cooperative grouping. It's no fault,
Okay.
collaboration,
When you're
and
done answering
consensus.
those 4 questions, put that inside your file
They
folder,
go
because we're going to
through
come
and the
back
groups
to
work
that when we're
together to
done
make
with
sure
our
that all 3 of those
station.
is covered throughout the entire class.
Make sure you have something for each of the questions.
This is something that they each have a folder that each student that
Okay?
walks in
And
this
then
room
the
has a
person
This is the
that is
Comer
your
model.
team
We
leader
used to
should
do this
have
model
our
in
station
Elyria
packet.
schools
Raise your hand if
15
you are
years
it.
ago.
Oh, okay.
It's good to see it come
Emily,
back. No
Brenda,
fault
and
collaboration
Yes.
was part
Okay,
of Dr.
counting down
James
from
Comer. I
5,
think
put that in your
his
file
research.
folder. 5,
good to see it back.
4, 3,
She has a pile. She has the supplies on every table for the kids. That way they're not
Okay,
it's
eyes
loose
up
getting
here
up and
because
moving
you're gonna
around.
watch
I mean,
how to kind of proceed through these stations. And I'm gonna go kind of quick
Ms. Schwartz
here
came from
because
an
2 of the
elementary
4
building
stations
when
should be pretty
it was a
self-explanatory.
before 6th grade came to
Eyes
the middle
over
school.
here, turn your body if you
So
need to.
she's a 6th grade math teacher, so a lot of what she does, she tries to incorporate. You can see her room is very
There's
appealing
12
to
of them,
kids, very
okay?
eye-catching.
Your job is to take
It
part
is,
your
it's nice.
ratios
It
and find an
grabs their
equivalent
attention
match.
and
We talk
With
about
these 2 match.
walking the walls when
No.
we do our
And you
visits
need
to
to be able to
classrooms.
explain to your group
And
why
the
not.
walls are very
Okay?
stimulating.
So you're going to go through
and it's
come
great
up with
because
as
obviously
many
they're movable
partner
walls, so they're
ratios
doing
as
what
you
they
can.
can
That's
to
group
to
one.
make it
Then you're
to
going to
spruce it up.
rotate. Group
really
2,
nice.
there are some calculators back here. Okay? About 3 people can actually use the calculators.
And
We
the
don't need
smart board,
everybody
she's
to
just
have
making
She
one.
use
uses
of
a
that.
smart board. She also
Okay,
uses a
eyes up
slate,
here,
and
I'm
that slate
gonna show you
allows her to
what
move
the page
around the
looks
classroom.
like.
It's like a
Oh, yeah.
portable
Those of you
one,
that are team
so she can
leaders, you
narrow in
have
on
it
certain
in front
groups
of
and
you.
be by them.
Okay,
Still
it
writing on a
says at
smart
this
board.
station, you're going to work with other students to explore a real world
You can see signs around the
situation.
classroom that says this is a
zookeeper
no
is
IDK
taking care of a
zone.
baby
It
tiger.
means that this
The
is a
table
no I
below
don't care
shows the
zone.
number of
Basically,
feedings
she's
and the
removing the
number of
excuses
ounces
from
of
the
meat
kids
that
to
are
work.
needed.
So
Do not
that's something
give the
big for her
answer yet,
philosophy
okay?
also.
That's good.
When I look at
I like
this
that.
part, 3, that's the
No
number of
IDK.
feedings. What's the
Yep.
ounces for 3 feedings?
I wouldn't have known
John?
what that meant.
I'm gonna
More
load
alphabets.
more
7
acronyms
and
for
2
you.
tenths. Now,
Yes.
if it went from a smaller number to a bigger number, did they add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Or a combination?
Like I said,
What do you
each
think?
student does have their own responsibility. They
Possibly
switch responsibilities
add
as
it.
they come in day by day. So
Possibly
you make sure they cover
multiply,
all the
maybe
areas.
did
They're
both.
not the same person
What
every
2
day
operations
in their group.
did
They have a different job.
not do? Kennedy? They probably didn't subtract and they probably didn't divide. Anyone have a strategy for how you're going to figure that out? Any.
You know, with the Common Core state standards, you know, in our schools, you know, as you can see on the board, she
Don't give
has
anything
her
else
Common
away.
Core state
That was a big
standards
help,
listed
okay?
for the students to
So
know,
your
and then
table,
also
you guys are
her
gonna
essential
figure out the
questions
rest
are
of the
listed
table
also as far
and
as
the rule.
what the students will be covering in
Okay,
class today.
station
And
3.
she'll go over that with them at
Station
the beginning
3,
of
you've got
class
some
and then revisit
graph
at the
paper
end.
over here and some straight edges. What I would like you to
The
do.
CCSS is our
Back
Common
table,
Core
you guys
State
listening?
Standards.
Yes.
I want every single person to actually do this because this is something different. Each of you are going to take a piece of graph paper and each of you are taking a straight edge. Now, we talked about the different ways that you could find whether you
See, as
have
an
a
English major,
proportion.
we call those rulers,
Today, you're going to see a fourth way.
Yes.
which is why I was an English
Okay.
major.
And this is using rectangular boxes.
You
Now,
were
in
too.
7th
I
grade,
was.
you guys
I
are
was
gonna
language
get into
arts. Yes, I was.
slopes.
So we're at
Special
our
ed,
element in here,
I
aren't we?
am, yes. Special ed,
Slope.
language
But in
arts,
7th grade,
yes.
you're going to hear about
Me too.
rise and run.
Excellent.
Yes.
I'm going to use different colors. 6 minutes are starting now. Go for it.
Good afternoon, Ms. Schwartz.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hi.
Very interesting.
Nice to
Good
see you.
Nice to see you. Very well. Done.
Can you kind of give us a little bit of information as far as what the students are doing in the cooperative groups that they are working in today?
Sure. We've done some experimenting throughout the year, putting them in different groups based on ability. This is more of a totally mixed group. This is my advanced placement class, so they're all pretty much working at a 6th grade to 9th grade level and then some. So they chose new seats for the new grading period, and that tends to work pretty well with this group of students. Right now, we're focused on Unit 2 of our new Common Core unit on ratios and proportions. So this is sort of a recap of things we've been doing for 2 weeks, and it's meant to be a total review. These are skills they already have, so we're just kind of culminating it as a whole group activity.
Okay. That's good.
Do you see that kids work very well in their groups?
Yeah, for the most part they do. Every group's different. In the morning I have 2 inclusion groups, and I have 2 intervention specialists with me, so we get a whole different variety of grouping. This group I can pretty much swing them however I want, and they tend to get along, although they definitely do have their preferences for who they like to work with.
Where did you first get involved with Dr. Comer's work with collaboration, no fault, consensus?
My first 8 years were at Roosevelt.
Okay.
And so I was able 2 years in a
Comer
row to go to
School.
Chicago and,
Oh, okay.
actually meet Dr. Comer and
Oh, really?
all of the folks that put it together, and I've used it ever since.
And you've used
just,
it?
Yeah,
Great.
I mean,
That's
to
great.
me it made sense, and I
Sure.
know a lot of things change in education, but I think they're 3 pretty good characteristics.
Well, I recognized it when I came in, and I thought, oh, look at that.
Yep.
It's still here with someone.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm not
That's good.
reinventing the wheel.
Very good. No, it's excellent. I think that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Great.
Very good. All this group work now will be for 5 minutes of working on what
then
you
they'll
gave them,
rotate.
and then they'll rotate. I like the grouping rather than the rows.
I do
I'm not a
too.
rows fan.
Yeah, it depends what we're doing. When we're in like test prep mode, we kind of focus more forward, but yeah.
I like
I
this.
prefer it.
Well, it teaches them early on important skills of working together,
I agree.
getting away from the cheating. They're not cheating, they're helping each other.
Right.
You know, it's kind of funny. In schools, if we overdo the rows, when they go to work, they have to
Right.
work together.
And then they can't.
And then they can't because they never work together.
Right.
And they don't share ideas willingly because if we're not careful, we could teach them inadvertently not to share ideas. That's somehow cheating. And no employer thinks that's cheating anymore. If they're paying us to sit and do the job, they want us to tell each other everything we know. And what I don't know, you know, and we
Right.
pull together. I love the way they're working together, so engaged.
This is a really nice group, so you guys are fortunate to see. They don't usually have too many issues. They're
That's
very
great.
fast and motivated.
That's good.
But all the other groups, I love it because it's very diverse. My morning is very different than my afternoon, and
Yeah.
it's kind of nice.
Yeah, very good. Very nicely done.
Okay. All right. Can you girls tell me what you're doing over here?
We are writing. We're finding equal ratios, and then we're writing them down. Yeah.
Speak up. Speak up. Do you girls enjoy working in groups?
Yeah.
It's better to work in groups.
Speak up. Excuse.
I
Raise
like
your
to
voice.
work in groups.
Why do you like working in groups?
It's more fun.
It gets the work done faster.
Gets the work done faster. Good. Okay. All right. Well, good luck. Have fun.
Good job, class. Okay.
Okay.
I'll bet we're going somewhere
We're
else.
going to go somewhere else now.
Okay.
We're going to head to the RAC room,
The rack room.
which is our reward activity center.
Oh, another acronym. Reward
Yes,
Activity
that's
Center.
that acronym
Okay.
for you.
It's good. It's good.
This is a room that used to be used as the reading zone. Back
remember
before I
that.
came here, it
Yes,
was
it
kind
was
of
very-
decorated with
A comfy room.
comfy room. Yes, they
Yes.
could go there to read a book, and they could do some work, and they a bunch of car parts are in it. That was the theme, like
Right.
all the different car parts. So
I remember that.
we kind of transitioned it to the rec room, kind of
Okay.
PBIS for some of our students.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Looks
We do
like-
have some students who are in here now.
Okay.
This room basically is for students who have A's, B's, and C's,
Okay.
and no missing assignments.
Okay.
And they come during their study halls, during
All right.
lunch, opposite lunch. So we're going to go ahead and take a look in here.
Good. We get some free time in here.
That's
and
right.
This is how they use it.
This is how they use it.
All right. Sort of like the student center
It is.
on the campus.
It is. We do have our ping pong table, and we have a couple foosball tables
Yeah.
for students. Gaming system in the back for the students to participate in. It's like a, what do you call that back there? Xbox is back there for the students to play.
Yeah. It's good.
They have, we had some staff donate some games, board games, and some arts and crafts and activities. Basically, they come in here and they're able to they've completed their assignments, so it's a reward
They're done
time,
working. It's
time for them.
burn off some energy, some free time.
And it's great because it gives
Another
some
chance
kids
to interact.
with kids, and it gives some kids the opportunity to, are rewarded for the work that they do throughout the day, throughout the quarter. Like I said, we do it once a week right now, but we're trying to increase the amount of time that we do it every week. So, yes.
Mr. Rollins
That's
is showing us.
Mr. Rollins, yes.
Yes.
That's
Hello, Mr.
Assistant
Rollins.
Principal.
It's our assistant principal. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
We're on the tour.
Good.
You just came from a math class. Very interesting. Doing some group work,
Very
advanced work.
So we're just talking about the RAC room and how the students enjoy the activities that we're putting here.
Any of these car doors belong to staff members from the parking lot, or were these
Only
from
from a few years ago.
a few years ago?
Staff members are out of the building.
They're gone now. All the hubcaps and whatnot were all legitimately. And I don't think for a minute that street sign over there is missing anywhere in the area.
Livermore Ave.
That was actually donated by somebody who lived at the corner. They didn't want it.
They didn't want it there, yeah.
And this is a little unstructured, and that's okay. It's not going to be like a structured classroom. It's going to be
No, it's
unstructured, and the
not.
kids are going to be able to be,
Well, our viewers should see that kids can be together, kind of let their hair down, have a good time, rest and relax. There's no bullying, there's no fighting, there's no problem, because they don't want to lose their privilege. And they earn their right to be in here, and they would completely defeat the purpose if they were all told to be quiet.
Told to be quiet.
This isn't
Correct.
a library
Correct.
or a media center. This is a place to relax and have some fun.
we do other positive behavior sports we do. We do PD Bucks, which is something that
Yeah, I
we
saw
pull
that
at
when we
the
came
end
in.
of every day, but not all kids get those. So this is something in addition to that the kids can earn.
Right. You might want to explain PD Box.
PD Bucks, those are it's like money, green money, and teachers hand them out to students for doing, a good deed, getting a good grade on a test, helping another student out.
Okay.
Whether they're active with the teacher helping grade something, pass something out, and at the end of every day, they turn that into a box in the office, and then we pick anywhere between 8 to 10 PD bucks a day, that many, and they are able to pick from a treasure chest in the office at the end of every day, whether it be a candy bar, a bag of chips.
Sort of like Dave and Buster's,
Kind of.
where you go in the room and you never come out because of all these toys and things that are in there, and they want to cash these
They wanna
coupons in
cash
and
them
get
in.
the best deal
That's
for their coupon.
correct,
I like
correct.
that. They're going to love that.
And we also have school supplies in there. A lot of the kids go for like school supplies, like the crayons and the markers.
They're
and the
being
pencils.
practical about it.
Absolutely, they are.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely. And then at the end of the year, we save every PD buck
Saw
that we have throughout the
I
year,
saw
and
that.
we do a big drawing. We dump all the PD bucks on the stage at the end of the year. And this past year, we gave away 2 bikes
That was amazing.
for the students, and they like it.
That was amazing. Well, what was really very, very cute was, I think you pulled a male and a female's name and you gave them a bike helmet.
Yes.
And there was a little bit of a, oh, thank you. I waited all year for this helmet. I'll treasure this helmet forever. And then the bikes
came out, yes.
And it was hooray
Yes,
for everybody. That
yes.
was really fun.
They do.
And I never saw so many bucks. My God, the pile had to be 3 feet high.
They do.
And
They work
5
for
feet
them.
wide.
They work for them. They like them. And if we don't pull them at the end of every day, they want to know why we haven't pulled them. Oh,
stay on
Mrs.
top
Langley, you
of
forgot to pull the PD bucks. Or Mr. Rollins, why didn't you pull the PD bucks? So they really look forward to that at the end of every day.
Well, that means
so
it's
does.
important to them.
It does.
That's good.
And they work for it. So
That's good. That's really good. I love everybody doing their own thing.
they are, and you see, no one's bothering anybody else.
No.
They find their partner, and normally we have a combination of study halls in here. We'll have a few from every room, but this is one class in here. They earned it today, so they just pair up and do their own thing, and teachers get involved. I have my teachers come in here and they're playing ping pong with the kids, and they're playing foosball with them.
This is so important. This is so important. I always try to put a plug in for public education and the value of coming to school because of the social element that I believe, and no matter what my critics say, I'm sorry, besides we own the camera and the TV station, so we can say this, that when you're online learning, you don't get this.
No, you don't.
There is no way to be an online learner and get this kind of education, because this is important. This is real life. Adults and kids interacting with each other when you're with your peers in a non-competitive way, just doing your own thing, keeping your space, because kids don't keep their space without practice. They are big space encroachers sometimes, and they don't do it to be angry. They just don't think about it. And this gives you an opportunity to help them develop their personal space. And some have a very narrow space where they let people very close. Others have a wider space. You never know who is who in here right now.
You wouldn't. When we try to get, the kids love when we interact with them, like they love to, we take turn, Mr. Rollins, myself, and Mr. Miller come in here, and we play ping pong with them, and the kids love, hey, let's challenge in a ping pong. They love to go against, us, and, they'll pick some, boys will play girls will be, playing boys on ping pong or the foosball. You can see them over there. I mean, they just,
great idea.
it gives them.
Every school gives us different ideas. It's really nice.
All right.
Want to head out?
Sure, we can head on out.
Oh, I was so afraid you were going to challenge me.
Oh, to ping pong.
Yes,
ping
I know
pong.
you're
No,
quite the athlete, and you wouldn't do that to an
Not
old
ping-
man
not
and embarrass
ping
him on his last year and humiliate me on the ping pong table.
No,
Okay. I'm so glad. Thank you
No,
very much
You're
for
welcome. You're welcome. That's pretty. I mean, we saw the rack room, we saw a classroom, and
it's great. We learned about PD bucks
our PBIS and the PD bucks.
and the PBIS. Very important. We just keep hearing that over and over, and that's how important
It is.
it is. And State felt it was so important. They actually said to us, "You need to find ways to address this." And you did.
And we did. And you Hopefully,
did.
we'll only make our adjustments as we, live and learn, and we'll see how this year goes, and we'll add the tweaks and adjustments that we need to for next year.
Are you seeing some results? Behavior referrals from
We
the
are.
office? Are they diminished?
They
coming
have
down?
gone down tremendously.
Oh, that's good.
We
That's good.
are, trying to go down on our suspensions, and the students have really rise to the occasion for the PBIS.
nice.
And
That's
they're
nice.
working towards awards, and they know what we have. So our incentives every quarter help out too. So we did have our 55.5% for the first grading period, and they reached that with almost 60%, 59.6% of our students here got a 3.0 or higher for the first grading period.
That's amazing.
So Friday we will have our first incentive here at Westwood for all
That's really
students.
nice. And of our 3 middle schools, Westwood has been at the top for the last couple of years in terms of their scores and their performance for students. And these are just some of the ideas that
Help
got
us,
you there.
help us be successful.
They help you.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's all about success.
It is, and the teachers do a great job here, and they go above and beyond. So we're happy that we're able to be where we're at.
The teachers here are doing a great job. Leadership is doing a great job, and thank you
Thank
for
you
that.
very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for bringing us into your
No
school.
problem. Thanks for coming.
You're very welcome. Thank you.